with 1 minute introduction, and then he is going to speak about the glories of Baladev Vidyabhushan, who Srila Prabhupada revered so much. So let's get started now. Slowly, devotees are joining in. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of enthusiastic uh, devotees who will join us today. So let's get started. It's 8 o'clock. Hare Krishna Tukaram Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all Gosha Prabhupada. Welcome to ISKCON of Central New Jersey channel, and looking forward to hear some nectar from you. And Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for joining. So today we are very fortunate that we have His Grace Tukaram Prabhu joining us right from US. He generally joins us from India, but today he is going to speak about a very important topic, glories of Baladev Vidyabhushan, which Srila Prabhupada quotes a lot, and he quotes in his books in various different articles and in his kathas. So without further ado, let me just introduce a little bit about Tukaram Prabhu. Tukaram Prabhu is a very senior disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and Bhakti Charu Maharaj is very dear to our temple. Over the years, he has helped numerous times, and Tukaram Prabhu has come to our channel many times. He doesn't need introduction, but he's a chemical engineer by profession, and he's currently serving as the vice president of ISKCON Bhubaneswar, India, and also he's doing a lot of devotee care activities, wherein he looks after devotees in terms of building places, guest houses, timeshares in various different places, so that devotees can take advantage in holy and have access to holy places. And Tukaram Prabhu is very dear to our congregation. He has come many times. So today he has a very wonderful topic to describe to us about the glories of Baladev Vidyabhushan. So without further ado, let's welcome Tukaram Prabhu with a loud Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Haribo, Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I am very grateful that I'm invited here on this platform to speak something about Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Today we are going to speak about Baldev Vidyabhushan and his disappearance pastimes. So basically, I'm serving in Odisha. So fortunately, I got a chance to visit the birthplace of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Many of you must be knowing there is a very famous temple, Khira Chora Gopinath temple in Remuna in Odisha. It's in the Balasore district of Odisha. So very close to this temple in Remuna, very close to Khira Chora Gopinath temple, and there is the auspicious place where Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan appeared in this material world. So, uh, so whenever like devotees wish to visit Khirchara Gopinath, you may also visit this very auspicious small temple now has been constructed there where Baldev Vidyabhushan appeared. So basically, whenever we hear the name of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, we immediately recognizes his contributions in terms of the shastric efficiency that he has produced. If you'll see the our Bhagavad Gita as it is, so Srila Prabhupada is offering Bhagavad Gita as it is to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. So generally we see that when devotees write some books, so they offer it to their spiritual master. Like when time we see in ISKCON, many devotees write books, so they offer the book to their spiritual master or to Srila Prabhupada. So it was naturally expected that Srila Prabhupada should offer his Bhagavad Gita to his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. But when we see uh, that in the front pages of Bhagavad Gita as it is, Prabhupada is offering his Bhagavad Gita to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. So here's the uh, so therefore Baldev Vidyabhushan become extremely important for us, especially for all ISKCON devotees in that sense. So what are his contributions of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan? You must have heard many times, but I'll talk about 3-4 major contributions of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. His background, his coming to our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. So basically Baldev Vidyabhushan uh, was a Madhva Sampradaya devotee. So he was initially initiated into the Madhva Sampradaya, and later on, there was a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a devotee in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Radha Damodar Goswami. So Radha Damodar Goswami preached Baldev Vidyabhushan and brought him to the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Now, generally, we see preaching means pulling out people from materialism to Krishna consciousness. But now this is called inter-preaching. Inter-preaching means when we are bringing atheist and materialistic people to Krishna consciousness. But then there is intra-preaching when they have already become devotees, when they have already become Vaishnavas, when they have already accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So then they are intra preached to accept the tenets of certain sampradaya. So basically, Madhva Sampradaya, as we all know, Madhva Sampradaya, the progenitor, the main person of the Madhva Sampradaya was Madhvacharya, who is the incarnation of Vayu. And interestingly, when Madhvacharya took birth, so he came with the victory sign like this. If you'll see the photographs of Madhvacharya, is always this sign, uh, because he actually propagated the Dvaitavad philosophy. Because we are dealing with Baldev Vidyabhushan, so we need to understand the tattva and the philosophy that Baldev Vidyabhushan has presented. Because without discussing the philosophical tenets, there is the discussion on Baldev Vidyabhushan remains incomplete. So I'll just take a short journey to the philosophical tenets that has been presented to us through Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. So basically, Baldev Vidyabhushan appeared in the Madhva. He took initiation in the Madhva Sampradaya. Madhva Sampradaya is the Dvaita Sampradaya. Why that Dvaita Sampradaya came up? Because as we all know that um initially when Kali Yuga arrived, then because of the presence of Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga actually made the Brahmins as their targets. So Kali Yuga's plan was that Brahmin are the head of the society, and if the head of the society will become corrupt and polluted, the entire society will collapse. So therefore, uh, Kali actually targeted the Brahmins of the society, and the first Brahmin he targeted was the Shringi Rishi. So as we all know, Shringi Rishi was targeted by Kali, and Shringi Rishi cursed Parikshit Maharaj that Parikshit Maharaj should die within 7 days. And then we know that Parikshit Maharaj went to Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev Goswami spoke these spotless Purana, the Srimad Bhagavat Purana. Now, as we all know, as this Kali has targeted Brahmins, so Brahmins are the protectors of the Vedas. Now, when the Brahmins become polluted, so in the name of Vedas, they started to create havoc in the society. And what kind of havoc? Like the Jati Pratha, Chhut Achhut, untouchability, and Sati Pratha. Sati Pratha was there in the Vedas, but it was not forced. Rather, it was voluntary. Like we know that Madari and Kunti, so they were all both fighting that I want to become Sati and I want to become Sati. But then it was decided that Kunti will become Kunti will take care of the children and Madhuri will become Sati. So at that times, this sati was voluntarily, but the Brahmanas, those who were influenced by Kali Yuga, actually in the Puranas it is said that Kali Yuga made Asuras to take birth in the Brahmin family. So they apparently, in name, they are Brahmins, but they are actually Asuras. So the entire Vedic concept was become polluted by these Asuras, so-called Brahmins. Those Asuras, those are born in the Brahmin families. Interestingly, all these things like Pashu Bali, killing of animals in the name of religion, it all came up. Although it was there in the Vedas, but it was not as prevalent as these asuras actually made it prevalent. So when Lord saw that these Brahmins, the so-called Brahmins, those are actually asuras in disguise. So when they are using Vedas in the name of religion, the name of Vedas, they're doing all kinds of nonsense activities. Then Lord appeared as Buddha, and he said that in the name of Vedas, you're doing all these kinds of nonsense activity. I reject the Vedas. And then come the Buddhist, is Lord Buddha, and he actually propagated the Shunyavad or the Nastikvad philosophy, the atheism. And then Lord instructed Lord Shiva to appear as Shankaracharya, so and to re-establish the Vedas. So then appeared Lord Shankaracharya, who actually re-established the Vedas within 32 years. Like he lived for 32 years. So he took sannyas at the age of 8. So from 8 to 32, that means around 24 years, he actually within 24 years he eradicated the entire Buddhist concept from the entire India and established the Vedic Sanatan Dharma. He made the four major headquarters of his like we have heard Char Dham. So these Char Dham are actually established by Sankaracharya in the four corners of the country, and he actually kicked out all the Buddhist tenants. But then that was not the right time to give deeper analysis of the Shastra, because during the Buddhist era, it was all Shunyavad. So Shankaracharya said that, see, like it's all Shunyavad and Brahmavad is almost same. You call it Shunyavad, we call it Brahmavad, and this Brahmavad is there in the Vedas. So this is how actually Shankaracharya re-established the Vedic civilization, Vedic philosophy. And then came the most revered Srila Ramanujacharya. He actually established the Vishishta Advaitavad philosophy. Shankaracharya gave Advaitavad and Ramacharya gave Vishishta Advaitavad. He said that although it's true it's that everything is Advait, but then still there is some Vishishtata, there is some speciality in the spiritual, and there is some spiritual reality beyond all this Advait. And he propagated this Vishishta Advaita philosophy and established that there must be the existence of spiritual world, and there is Lord with his name, form, paraphernalia, all spiritual in nature. And then appeared Madhvacharya. He said, no, I don't want to take this word of Advaya only. I'll say Dvait. There are two things. There is living entity and there is supreme personality of Godhead. So this is how Madhvacharya actually propagated his theory, which is called Dvaita theory. And within this Madhva Sampradaya, Baldev Vidyabhushan actually took initiation. Now, interestingly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the South India and he met with the followers of Madhva Sampradaya, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was in a Madhva Sampradaya, but what he told the followers of Madhva Sampradaya, the Tattvadis, he said that you are too much into Khandanam. Because Madhvacharya was into Khandanam. Most of the time he wrote about uh, cutting down the Mayavad philosophy. Khandanam, Khandanam, Khandanam. On the contrary, Ramanujacharya also cut down the Mayavad theory, but he mostly glorified the Supreme Lord and his attributes, his pastimes, his sweetness. But Madhvacharya focused mostly on Khandanam. And as Madhvacharya, his followers also were always focused upon Khandanam, just cutting down the Mayavad philosophy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India, he actually jokingly once said that you are too busy in Khandanam. You are always busy in cutting down the Mayavad theory. That's fine. That's good. That's important. But at the same time, you must relish the rasas, you must relish the sweet relationship with the Lord. So that is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has actually instructed us, that although cutting down the Mayavad philosophy is important, it's very important. Prabhupada also, we can see that he has cut down Mayavad philosophy in various phases, in various ways, in multiple times. Most of the time, he was very heavy. That's true. That's part of our sampradaya, that part of our Vaishnava lineage. But at the same time, relishing the sweet mellows and rasas is also very important. The sweet rasas of connection with the Lord in various ways. Like there are five main rasas: uh, Shanta rasa, Dasa rasa, Sakhya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, and Madhur rasa. So not just cutting down Mayavad philosophy is sufficient. A devotee has also to relinquish. He also has to relish the rasas that come down with the association of the Lord, with relationship with the Lord. So Madhvacharya Sampradaya, Baldev Vidyabhushan, although initiated in that Sampradaya, also had the mood of cutting down the Mayavad Siddhanta, but had no deeper understanding of the rasas. At that time, Radha Damodar Goswami preached him about the deeper rasas. He told him about the Dasya Rasa, he explained him about the Sakhya Rasa, he explained him about Vatsalya Rasa, and he explained about Madhurya Rasa. Within Madhurya Rasa, there are two rasas, Parakiya, Swakiya and Parakiya. And then he explained the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself, coming in the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani. When and what is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? As we all know, when Akrura uh, took away Krishna and Balram from Braja, at that time, what was the mood of Gopis and Srimati Radharani? That was the constant mood of separation, mood of constant agony, mood of constant desperate intensity and desperate separation felt by Srimati Radharani. That was the mood carried by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at all the times, especially when he was at Gambhira in Jagannath Puri. So when Radha Damodar Goswami actually made Baldev Vidyabhushan understood the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the tattva of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the rasa of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he explained that out of all the rasas, how this Jaya Jaya Ujwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar Par Kiya Bhave Jahan Brajete Prachar. When Sri Radha Damodar Goswami made Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan understood the out of all the relationship, the Madhura Rasa is the most intimate. Although a devotee in whichever rasa, say for example, Hanumanji is in Dasya rasa. So Hanumanji is in Dasya rasa. So for Hanumanji, it's Dasya rasa is the highest, and he feel supremely satisfied in that Dasya rasa. Hanumanji never wants to become a friend or a conjugal lover of Lord Rama. No, Hanumanji feel completely satisfied in that rasa. Similarly, there are devotees in Vatsalya rasa, so they are satisfied like Yashoda. They are satisfied in the Vatsalya rasa. So for a devotee, whoever devotee in whichever rasa, for him that rasa is complete. That relationship is complete. But still there is taratamya depending upon the attachment. Even in this material world, we see, say for example, a person has different relationship with different people. Say for example, a person has a direct indirect relationship with someone. Say for example, we have a relationship with President Donald Trump. But what is that relationship? We know him through, say, popular media or through newspaper. We know something about him, and he doesn't knows directly upon about us, or he knows that as if we are his subjects. But then there is no direct reciprocation between Donald Trump and us. So that is called Shantarasa. But then Donald Trump must be having servants within his quarters serving him directly. That is called Dasya Rasa. He must be having his friends like Elon Musk, although he's not yet a friend. They have broke up. But still, so this is called Vatsalya Rasa. Donald Trump must be having relationship with his parents. So that is called this Donald Trump's relationship with Elon Musk is Sakhya Rasa. Donald Trump's relationship with his parents is called Vatsalya Rasa. Within this world, we see that out of all rasas, the most intimate rasa is the conjugal rasa. A person, say for example, husband or wife are most intimately connected, and even a boyfriend and a girlfriend are more intimately, even far more intimately connected as husband and wife. So we see that within this mental world also there are different degrees of attachment. The highest attachment is between the husband and wife, and beyond that, even boyfriend and girlfriend. Highest attachment. Similarly, in the spiritual world, the highest attachment is in the Madhura Rasa. All the rasas are complete, and within that Madhura Rasa, there is Viyog and there is Sambhog. Sambhog means coming together, and there is Viyog means separation. So our Sampradaya's mood is separation is the highest kind of ecstasy. When Lord Krishna was performing Rasa Leela with the gopis, at certain time he disappears. Why he disappears? And he said, I disappear so that the fire of separation, and it will become more intense. So say for example, the analogy has been presented in Chaitanya Chaitamrit. A poor man suddenly receives a lot of money, and then he loses that money. So what is his condition? So this mood of separation, that हे राधे ब्रज देवी के च ललिते हे नंद सुनो कुतः श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पाद पतले कालिंदी वन्य कुतः घोषंतविति सर्वतो ब्रज पूरे खेधेर महाविवलौ. So this is the mood of Shad Goswamis, the six Goswamis. Hey Radhe Braj Devi ke chalate, hey Nand Suno Kutha, where are you? Are you on the banks of Yamuna, or are you on Govardhan? Where are you? Ghoshantavit Sarvato Brajapura. So they are shouting everywhere, Vivalau. They're becoming um, disturbed, agitated. Where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? This is called mood of separation. So out of all rasas, the Madhur rasa is the Sreshta, is topmost. Within that Madhur rasa, the Parakiya bhav and the mood of separation is most intense. And that is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is how I just gave a brief understanding of rasa. It requires a lot of time and analysis to understand each and every rasa very deeply. And as a devotee in a Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we need to understand the depth of this rasas, because that is um actually the mood of our acharyas. And therefore, you'll find in Bhagavad Gita introduction only Prabhupada has mentioned about these rasas. Many times devotees neglect to understand these rasas, but that's very important. So this is how Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan was preached by Shri Radha Damodar Goswami. And when he got to know that such depth of the Gaudiya Vaishnava rasas, he converted into the Gaudiya Vaishnava. He was reinitiated into the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and uh, he became the part of our Sampradaya. So much so that he became so influenced. Although born and brought up in Odisha, he was spending his time at Jagannath Puri, and then he went to Brindavan under the shelter of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now, interestingly, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is called the Rasa Acharya. Why is called the Rasa Acharya? Because if you read the commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, just like the commentary called Sararth Darshani, the commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, it's so deep, as if Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur uh, is observing the pastimes of the Lord, as if these pastimes are going on in front of him. So this is how Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has presented these pastimes. I can give one or two examples to make this point understand. Say for example, how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is actually presenting the pastimes through his commentaries, and why he is called Rasa Acharya. So I'll just give an example of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 60th chapter. This chapter is entitled uh, 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 what we call it. Rukmini was actually Krishna was teasing Rukmini. है ना? So this chapter is called Rukmini teased by Lord Krishna. or Lord Krishna teasing Rukmini. And what is the basis of this chapter? So as we all know that in order to kill Narakasur, Lord Krishna took permission of Satyabhama, and after Satyabhama gave permission, Lord Krishna killed Narakasura. When Lord Krishna killed Narakasura, then Lord Krishna went to heavenly planets to give away what all things were looted by Narakasura, to give all those things to Aditi and the demigod. So Lord Krishna went to Swargaloka, and when he went to Swargaloka, he also took Satyabhama with him. And while returning back, Indra actually gave a flower, a Parijat flower to Lord Krishna. So when they returned back, to Dwarka, so Lord Krishna gifted that one single Parijat flower to Rukmini. And when Satyabhama got to know that Lord Krishna brought a Parijat flower from Swarga for Rukmini, she became very heavy. She became very angry. How can you do that? And you are giving to Rukmini, you're not giving to me. So then Lord Krishna was just trying to pacify Satyabhama, but she was not at all pacified in any way. So then Lord Krishna said, "What can I do for you?" So then Satyabhama said that you should get me the entire Parijat tree. So Lord Krishna went back to Swarga, heavenly planet, fought with Indra, brought the Parijat tree. So then one day Lord Krishna was thinking that just see, I have gifted one single Parijat flower to Rukmini, and Satyabhama became so angry. But Satyabhama, I gave the entire tree, but Rukmini was not at all disturbed. She was not at all agitated. She was not at all angry. What does it mean? Let me do something that will ignite some kind of anger within Rukmini's heart. So therefore, Lord Krishna started to tease Rukmini. So that's the entire chapter, 10th canto, 60th chapter. Now, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the very first shlokas commentary that Lord Krishna's words are like pestle, uh, and Rukmini's heart is like camphor. And with the pestle, Lord Krishna will actually crush Rukmini's camphor like heart. And what will happen? What happens when we crush camphor with pestle? What happens? It becomes powdered, and its aroma spread all over. So similarly, by the hard words of Krishna, the soft camphor-like heart of the Rukmini will be crushed, and the transcendental divine qualities of Rukmini, the aroma of her divine qualities will spread all over. So just see this particular analogy that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is presenting. There are thousands and thousands of analogies. I can speak on those analogies for hours and hours together. So many beautiful analogies Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is presenting. One analogy he presents just to give an example how Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a rasa acharya. So one example is when Bhishma Dev was shooting arrows on Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna was not disturbed, he was not agitated, rather he was very happy, as if, and what kind of pleasure Lord Krishna was deriving? So Lord Krishna was deriving the pleasure equivalent to the gopis throwing flowers on Lord Krishna. So as if gopis are throwing flowers on Lord Krishna, the happiness Lord Krishna derives, similar happiness Lord Krishna was deriving by the arrows of Bhishma Dev. So there Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that the arrows, when Bhishma Dev was shooting arrows on Lord Krishna's body, so uh, many time Lord Krishna's body was scratched and cut. There was a cut mark by the arrows of Bhishma Dev. But Lord Krishna was enjoying. The question arises why he was enjoying. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, getting very deep into the past time, he said, sometime a lover bites the beloved during the sexual union. And that kind of love bite doesn't actually aggravates or agitates or doesn't make kind of the lover feel bad. Rather, it's a great pleasure. Similarly, Lord Krishna is deriving great pleasure by the arrow marks and the arrow marks of the Bhishma Pitama. So just see the analogies that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti is presenting. It's so deep, as if he's seeing the pastimes of the Lord with his own eyes, and he is seeing actually within his heart. So therefore, he's called Rasa Acharya. And Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, after being initiated by Radha Damodar Goswami, was sent to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti for deeper understanding the rasas. And there he served Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur for many, many years and understood he developed the deeper understanding of the rasas. And once, when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old, at that particular moment he received a letter from the king of Jaipur. As we all know, there is a famous temple of Govinda Dev. This Govinda Dev deity was the Rupa Goswami's deity, and because of the attacks of the Mughals, these Govind Dev deities were resituated to Jaipur. And the Jaipur city, if you have been there, you must have noticed the entire Jaipur city is based on the center, this the city palace, and in front of the city palace there is this beautiful Govind Dev Ji temple, so that the king could take darshan of Govind Dev every day from his palace. And this is how the entire city is being situated. Jaipur, Maharaj Jai Singh made that city, and he also established this Govind Dev temple. The Rupa Goswami deities worshipped it. So at one point of time, the Ramanandi Sampradaya Acharyas, the Ramanandis are a part of a Shri Sampradaya. So they actually suggested the king that the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is not very authentic. It's not authentic Sampradaya. And the reason they presented that why it is not authentic Sampradaya, because each and every Sampradaya must have a commentary on uh, Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. Now, for your information, what is this Vedanta Sutra? As we all know, there are different Vedas, and the entire concept of the Vedas are being presented. Uh, uh, Vedas, Upanishads are there, and just to make us understand the concept of the Vedas, the Mahabharata and the Puranas are being written. But still, Vyasadeva thought that he must actually formulate small formulas, uh, so that the entire concept of Vedas become very clear. So Srila Vyasadeva actually presented the entire Vedas, the entire understanding of the Vedas through small sutras or formulas, and these are called Vedant Sutra. As we all know, like when we prepare for exams, so we make short notes, small things, so that we can revise very nicely. We can take in that manner the entire concept of the Vedas and the Upanishads are composed in Vedanta Sutra and small sutras, so that whoever just read the sutras will get to know the entire concept of the Vedas. They are also called Brahma Sutras or Vedanta Sutras. Now, sutras are not sufficient. Then sutras require the commentary. Otherwise, if there is no commentary on the sutras, anybody and everybody can comment on their own way, in their own way. So, Srila Vyasadeva actually presented Srimad Bhagavatam as the commentary of Vedanta Sutra. In Garuda Purana it is said, Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam. What is the Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is the Bhashya, is the commentary of Brahma Sutra. So when these Ramanandi Sampradaya scholars, they actually questioned the authenticity of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and they said that we do not have a, a, a commentary on Brahma Sutra. So at that time, the letter reached Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The king said, although because the king was also the follower of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, so he requested Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur at that time to give some proofs, so that our sampradaya is established as the authentic sampradaya. But at that time, because Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old and weak, so he sent his Siksha disciple Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan to Jaipur to authenticate and show how our sampradaya is authentic. So then there was a debate, and Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan tried to pacify the scholars of Ramanandi Sampradaya that see, we do not have any other commentary on Vedanta Sutra, because as per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who quoted Garud Purana and other scripture references, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra. So because we accept Bhagavatam as Praman Amalam, so Bhagavatam is the final Praman Amalam. So therefore our Sampradaya do not have any other commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam, according to Srila Vyasdev, uh, Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary of Vedanta Sutra. But this particular concept, or this particular theory, or this particular logic, when presented to Ramanandis, they were not satisfied. They said, no, we cannot accept any sampradaya unless they have a commentary on Prasthantraya. Prasthantraya are the treatises where one thing is Bhagavad Gita, other is the Upanishad, and third is the Vedanta Sutra. So they must have the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So you do not have a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So therefore, we do not accept. Your sampradaya is authentic sampradaya. And the uh, debate was rusticated for some time. Baldev Vidyabhushan became very disturbed, like what to do now? Because if they are not accepting Srimad Bhagavatam as the final praman on the commentary of Vedanta Sutra, then what to do? So he approached Govinda Devji, the deities, the personal deities of Srila Rupa Goswami, and he prayed the Lord, Lord, kindly show me the path. So as we all know, Tesham Satatyuktanam Bhajtam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Yena Mamupayanti. So when sincerely someone approaches the Lord and Lord reciprocates, Lord gives the intelligence. So Lord actually reciprocated with Baldev Vidyabhushan, saying that, Baldev, okay, I will be dictating you the entire commentary on Vedanta Sutra. You just bring a copy and pen and I'll dictate you. For 7 days, Govind Dev personally dictated the entire commentary on Vedanta Sutra, and Baldev Vidyabhushan noted down. Now, interestingly, within 7 days to present a commentary on Vedanta Sutra is not possible. After 7 days, when Ramanandis got to know that here is the commentary on Vedanta Sutra, and not just ordinary commentary, it's the highest commentary ever available on Vedanta Sutra. Why? Because it is personally dictated by Lord Govinda. So they became all, they actually became mesmerized and amazed, and they signatured that from today we accept Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya as most authentic Sampradaya. And today, even also, if you'll go to the Jaipur Museum, you'll find that particular document of those times, 1700 something, that the scholars and the acharyas of Ramanandi Sampradaya has actually authenticated in the court of King of Jaipur that we accept Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is the Pramanik Sampradaya. We still have that document. Uh, and Baldev Vidyabhushan named his commentary as Govinda Bhashya. Why? Because Lord Govinda has personally dictated this Bhashya. So therefore, Prabhupada, when he writes that I offer this Bhagavad Gita as it is to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, who is the commentator of Govinda Bhashya. So this is how Govinda Bhashya came up. And that's the contribution of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Apart from these apart from Govinda Bhashya, there are many other books written by Baldev Vidyabhushan, like Siddhanta Ratna, Vedanta Samantak, Pramay Ratnavali, Siddhanta Darpana, and Aishwarya Kaumodi. There is one book called Madhurya Kadambani. There is so this is written by uh, Madhurya Kadambani is written by Vishwanath Chakravarti and Aishwarya Kadambani is written by Vishwanath Baldev Vidyabhushan. And there is this kind of Kavya Kaustav, Bhagavad Gita, Bhashya, so there are so many books that so they're written by and he also wrote commentaries on Tattva Sandarbha and Gopal Tapni Upanishad and Vishnu Sahasranam and Laghu Bhagavatamritam. So these within these books are written like Tattva Sandarbha written by Jiva Goswami, Baldev Vidyabhushan presented a commentary, and there is a Gopal Tapni Upanishad in the Upanishad section of the Vedas. Baldev Vidyabhushan wrote the commentary. There is Laghu Bhagavatamritam written by Rupa Goswami. Baldev Vidyabhushan gave a commentary. So like this, he also gave so many commentaries. So he's such a scholar naturally because he's coming down from a Madhva Sampradaya background. So his scholarship is unparalleled. And when he came to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, his scholarship was his backed now backed with the Rasa Tattva and Rasa understanding of deeper rasas. So this is how Baldev Vidyabhushan is actually gave our sampradaya a very strong theological background. I would like to end my presentation with a very important um, note. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book called Dasa Mula Tattva. Just like in Christianity we have 10 commandments, the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, or we can call ISKCON philosophy, or our Vaishnava philosophy, just 10 points. If we can just remember those 10 points on fingers, then we can present our entire philosophy to anyone and everyone. And this 10 Dasa Mula Tattva is actually taken by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Baldev Vidyabhushan Prameya Ratnavali. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who has presented this 10 concepts or 10 kind of commands to make us understand the entire Vaishnava philosophy or Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, is actually taken by the original book written by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. So for the pleasure of the devotees, I'll just take these 10 points, and if we can just remember these 10 points on fingers, then understanding the entire philosophy will become like it will be in a nutshell, kind of entire Vaishnava philosophy in nutshell. So what are these 10 points? The 10 points is, number one point is, whatever we are going to speak or whatever we are going to present in next 9 point is not something that is coming out of our mental logic. It is not our hypothesis, it is not our speculation, it is Shabda Praman. It is Shastriya Praman. Whatever we are going to speak in next 9 point is Shastra Praman. We take Shastra Praman as everything. The first point is we take Shastra Praman. Second point is Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. Third point is the Krishna is adored with all energies. He Shaktiman, who has multiple Shaktis, different types of potencies, different types of Shaktis. He Shaktiman. Fourth is Krishna is the ocean of Rasa. He's Rasa Sagar. He's Rasa Raj. He's not just Shaktiman. He's not just powerful entity. He shares personal relationship with the devotees. He's Rasa Raj. He's Rasa Shekhar. He is ocean of Rasa. So first point is, whatever we are going to speak, we are going to speak from Shastra. Then second, third, and fourth, Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. He is Shaktiman, endowed with all kind of Shaktis, and he is ocean of Rasa. These three is Sambandha Gyan. And one more, what about Jivas? So Jivas are the separated part and parcel of the Lord. Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. So this is about Jiva. Then Jivas are of two categories. Sixth point is, Jivas means the Jivas under the influence of matter is called is called bounded state, conditioned state, and Jiva which are not in the influence of Maya, they are called liberated Jiva. Then comes Jivas and the material world are both different and identical to the Lord. Achintya Bheda Ved. Living entity and material world are same as the Lord, at the same time different as the Lord. Ninth point he suggested as pure devotion service is the practice of the Jiva. Sadhana and Sadhya. Sadhya is 10th point, pure love of Godhead is the goal for the Jivas. And sadhana is devotional service. So, like this, these 10 precepts is the entire philosophy. Whatever we are saying on the basis of Shastra. Number two, Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. Number three, Krishna is energetic person having all forms of energies, mental energy, spiritual energy. He is energetic. Fourth, Krishna is not just an energetic person, he is the ocean of rasas. We can have personal relationship with Krishna. Then living entities are his separated part and parcels. Tatastha Shakti. Then living entity, although Tatastha Shakti, if it is influenced by matter, material energy, it is in the conditioned stage. When living entity, although Tatastha Shakti, under the divine nature, is called Mukta Jeev or liberated Jeev. Then material world and the Jivas are one and the same, at the same time different from the Lord. Achinta Bheda Bhed. Say, for example, living entity and Lord are one in what sense? In sense of quality. But in quantity, Jiva is very small and Lord is infinite. So one and the same. Achinta Bheda Bhed. Then comes ninth point. What is the duty of the Jiva? What is Jiva actually meant for? Jiva is meant for pure devotion. And what is the goal? What is the uh, Prayojan? The Prayojan is pure love of Krishna. So just see within this 10 points, the entire philosophy is covered. And these 10 points are actually presented by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. On to whose thesis Srila uh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written Dasa Mula Tattva. So this is how we can see the interesting part of our sampradaya is that all our acharyas are so great scholars. Uh, even when we see that even Srila Prabhupada, such a high level of scholarship, all over the world, he is revered in all the sampradayas. He is being respected for his scholarship. And even today within ISKCON, we see there are so many great scholarly devotees because they are following the lines of our acharyas. Such a high level of shastric understanding and back up with these systems of devotional service, back up with the institutional legacy. It's such a nice arrangement, nobody can even think of it. So there are nice institutions, but they do not have shastric backup. There are people, those with shastric backup, but do not have any institution. Now institution but plus shastric backup plus the legacy is being continued in marvelous ways. This is the blessings of previous acharyas, just like Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. So today on this, like as his disappearance day is approaching, so we pray to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan to bless us, so that we can, through his blessings, we can take this um, this science of Krishna consciousness to everyone everywhere, and he bless us that we can understand the rasas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Siddhanta very deeply, so that we can understand it and relish it. It's very unfortunate we see in today's world many times devotees from ISKCON, they give up ISKCON and they goes to some Babajis at Radha Kund, and some, they're looking for different avenues and shelter, not knowing that our Sampradaya Acharyas have given so much depth that other Sampradaya even cannot think of it. Although there are many Vaishnava Sampradayas, but the level of understanding and the highest rasa that has been given to us by our Acharyas is immeasurable. So devotees need to become more and more aware about uh, the the jewels that are within our own sampradaya. Unfortunately, when devotees are not aware of what depthness we have in our siddhanta and philosophy, so they become carried away by the externals that is being presented everywhere. So it's my humble request that let us all devotees come together and dive deep into the literature given to us by the Vaishnava acharyas like Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what a wonderful class. It was so enlightening. You spoke a lot about connecting Valdev Vidyabhushan's transformation and the importance of Govinda Bhasya, which many of us may not have known. You spoke about the 10 tenets and the importance of commentary. You spoke about the power of our lineage, and what a wonderful class. It was very enlightening. It was, I personally learned a lot. I'm sure everybody learned a lot. So we'll just have one or two questions, then we'll, speak a little bit about your upcoming program coming up in ICNJ around 14th to 16th June, where in addition to getting association through internet, they can also get personal association with you when you're around, and then we'll have some announcements. So, if you have any questions, anyone, please go one after another, unmute and ask His Grace Tukaram Prabhu questions. He will take for next 5-10 minutes, and then we'll have announcements.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept humble obeisance for all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Excellent class. My question is, you gave the example of one person, he forsake his guru and sampradaya and joined the uh, Madhava Sampradaya. So, and yes, you do also mention that the philosophy and the tattvas explained is to a greater detail. My question, Prabhu, is that anyone who takes initiation in whatever sampradaya, he does so on basis of his faith and belief. And then he takes these vows, initiation vows, that it's going to be lifelong. So when that Prabhu forsake his guru and his sampradaya and came to our sampradaya, wasn't it a kind of an aprad? Or tomorrow, if somebody, like you said, from ISKCON leaves and goes to some Babaji, that would also be an aparad. So, how do we understand this, Prabhu?
Thank you, Proji, for your wonderful question. Actually, when we use the word reinitiated, it doesn't actually mean that he has forsaken his sampradaya, because originally Baldev Vidya Bhushan was in Madhva Sampradaya, and Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is also within Madhva Sampradaya. So it's not that he has given up Madhva Sampradaya, but he has accepted Radha Damodar Goswami's philosophy as within Madhva Sampradaya, he became deeply attached to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Siddhanta. It's, and another thing we can take, like for example, if somebody is studying in sixth standard, so one day he'll give up sixth standard, he'll come to seventh standard. So that's not, it doesn't mean that sixth standard teacher is not good or she's bad. So therefore, this student has now forsaken the sixth standard teacher and came to seventh standard. No, it's a natural progress that somebody who's studying in sixth standard, then he'll come to seventh standard, come to eighth standard, come to he'll pass his high school, he'll pass his graduation. So it's a natural progress. So therefore, when we say that he was reinitiated, doesn't mean that he has forsaken his guru in the Madhu Sampradaya or did some aparad to him. Rather, when he got higher understanding of the rasas, he accepted it. Our spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj, used to say that we are very open. If at that stage also, if somebody will bring some better philosophy, we are ready to accept. But unfortunately, nobody is able to bring it up. Another thing we can also take try to understand. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to give this example. This example is very famous. Sometimes what happens that when Srila Prabhupada mostly speak upon soul and body, even when he was speaking on Radha Ashtami day, festival, he was speaking about body and soul. So sometimes people think that why Prabhupada is just giving this body soul body soul. Why is not giving some higher tattvas? Many times when Prabhupada was in kind of it happened, somebody was saying, Prabhupada, to kindly tell something about Radha Krishna's intimate pastimes. Prabhupada ignored. Kindly tell something about Radha Krishna intimate pastime. Then again ignored. So when the other party was forcing Prabhupada, literally Prabhupada said, I don't know. I am not qualified enough. Out of humility, he was saying. So Gaur Govind Maharaj used to give this example. A professor might be a PhD professor, but when he is teaching to a fifth standard kid, he will give examples and analogies and teachings as per the level of that fifth standard kid. When this particular fifth standard kid will come to PhD classes, then he'll able to understand that this professor is not just a fifth standard teacher. He is the PhD teacher. Similarly, Prabhupada is the PhD scholar. He's the PhD teacher. But because our level is that we are in sixth standard or fifth standard nursery, so Prabhupada is coming down to our platform and teaching us. Actually, this Radha Krishna intimate pastimes are for those who have transcended the bodily conception. Now, the honest analysis is that, say for example, I am practicing Krishna consciousness for last 15 years, but till today I haven't transcended this bodily platform. That am I qualified to actually go deeper into the Radha Krishna pastimes? No. And therefore, Prabhupada has always presented things in that level. That doesn't mean that Prabhupada and his sampradaya doesn't have that highest understanding. So when what devotees, instead of finding fault with themselves that I am on the bodily platform and therefore I am not qualified to hear Radha Krishna intimate pastime, therefore Prabhupada is not giving. People are starting considering that in ISKCON we don't have that philosophy. So instead of finding fault with ourselves, we need to find out that we are on bodily platform. We are not qualified to enter into that highest kind of rasa. So therefore, at least our devotees had to have a understanding that our sampradaya is giving all these things in greater details. In fact, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is, say for example, the Braja, the Vrindavan and Braja that we are appreciating today, not just we, all over the world, people are appreciating Braja, is because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers have actually discovered the essence of Braja, the pastimes, places of pastimes of Braja. So by default, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers are the main people behind the Braja that we are appreciating today. So how can we give up this this sampradaya and find out shelter in somewhere else in the name of Braja and Radha Krishna Bhakti? So that devotees are somewhere. Recently, I was giving a class at Pune. So this concept in NVC, I was giving class. So many devotees ask this question that how to go deeper into the understanding of rasas, because many devotees are simply leaving ISKCON thinking that we don't have higher philosophy. So I remember Gaur Govind Maharaj's lecture, and in his book he used to write that Prabhupada has given everything in the seed form. Now that time is there that we put that seed in the soil and water that seed with our faith and devotion, and gradually uh, the deeper rasas of the intimate pastimes and the highest rasa of Madhur rasa and Ujjwala rasa and Parakiya Bhav and whatever we can think, whatever the other so-called Babajis are just giving on YouTube, it's actually there, everything within our sampradaya. We just simply need to understand and appreciate that. So that's the point. So it's not that Baldev Vidyabhushan has actually did some aparadh. Rather, he has just uh, got more deeper into the rasa understanding.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Excellent. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any other question, Mataji? Premprada Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, you talked about Govinda Bhashya. It was really enlightening to hear about it. So can you talk a little bit more on it? Like, was it translated by anybody, like that commentary, which was written by Baldev Vidyabhushan, or, can we get to...
We do have Govind Bhashya now in ISKCON. Actually, in ISKCON, we must all be proud of this, that the level of literature that ISKCON devotees are producing, it's immense. Just like now we have, say for I'll just give an example. um, we have our devotee Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu. So he is now just translating the entire Ramayana. Prabhupada actually desired the Valmiki Ramayana should be translated. So now we have, in fact, Prabhupada once said that in Hindi, Ramcharitmanas is the most popular book. Now we have devotees, those who have translated Ramcharitmanas too. Similarly, we have Baldev Vidya Bhushan's Govind Bhashya is available. We have all the commentaries now available. Vishwanath Chakrakar's commentaries are there. N number of literature is coming up. So that's we are the way that ISKCON devotees, now we have scholar boards and going deeper into science. In fact, um, the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya books and Nimbarkacharya's books and Ramacharya's books. So many books have been translated in ISKCON. So it's all available. In fact, I myself has a library in Bhubaneswar. So we have made a Gaudiya Granthagar, a huge collection of all the books related with Gaudiya Vaishnava theology. So we are very fortunate that we are living in this era that now all these books are readily available to us. But the point is, there is a very beautiful verse by Chanakya. He says, Ananta Shastram Bahulascha Vidya Swa Alpascha Kalo Bahubignatah Chah Yat Sar Bhutam Tadupasaniyam Hansam Yathakshiram Ivambo Madhyat. So Chanakya says, Bahulash Ananta Shastram Bahulascha Vidya. There is Ananta Shastra. And Bahulascha Vidya, there is n number of Vidyas. But the problem is Swalpascha Kalo. Time is very limited. That I am observing here in America. Monday to Friday, no program, only Saturday, Sunday program because devotees are packed. So, and time is less, and whatever time is then there is n number of responsibilities. Bahubignatacha. And therefore, yatsara bhutam tad upasaniyam. Whatever is the summary that has to be taken. Srila Prabhupada's purports are like summaries. Prabhupada's purports have already covered all the Baldev Vidya Bhushan Bhashya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Bhashya, Sridhar Swami Bhashya. Interestingly, when we have a very first reading of Srila Prabhupada's purports, we don't understand its depth. But after reading Srila Prabhupada's purport, when we read Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary, we read Baldev Vidya Bhushan's commentaries, we read Jiva Goswami's commentary, we read Sanatan Goswami's commentary, we read Sridhar Swami's commentary, and then again we come back to Srila Prabhupada's purport, we find, my God, Prabhupada has given everything. He has covered all those commentaries in his purports. Such a nice. So, yat sarabhutam tadupasaniyam. So, whatever is the summary, we have to take it. Just like Hansa takes milk from the mixture of milk and water. So, therefore, because we don't have much time, if we have time, if there are devotees who are actually interested into going deep into these literatures, so for them it's available. But for those who don't have time, so we have Prabhupada purports. Everything is there. So because I personally have observed after reading Prabhupada's purport, when I went back to these different commentaries and then again coming back to Prabhupada's purport, I can appreciate more that Prabhupada actually covered everything. So therefore, if devotees have time and inclination, the vast number of literature is available. And if they don't have time and inclination, at least Prabhupada's purport is covering everything.
That's true, Prabhuji. Actually, Prabhupada's purports are very simplified.
Yeah.
Very simple to understand. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, everyone. So let's end today's class by offering thanks to Tukaram Prabhu. Tukaram Prabhu is going to be around ICNJ come 14th June to 16th June. So we'll try to have some personal association with him through home programs. So thank you, Tukaram Prabhu, from the bottom of our heart. We're indebted for giving a wonderful summary and glorifying Baladev Vidyabhushan by having connects and tenets through, how his transformation happened, how he initiated through the mercy of Govinda Dev from Jaipur, Govinda Bhasya, and the 10 tenets of, and how Srila Prabhupada's, and to answer some of the questions, how Srila Prabhupada's purports summarizes all the scriptural references. so that we can focus more on devotional service. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And if anybody wants to connect with Prabhu during his stay in ICNJ, so you can reach out so that we can have some interaction with Prabhu, who has a wealth of experience. So thank you so much, Prabhu, from the bottom of our heart. Let's all thank Prabhu, and after that we'll have announcement by chanting loud Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
So few quick announcements. Tonight, today evening, we'll have Gauranga Prabhu giving class, Sunday class. On the 3rd of June, Gaurang Prabhu is giving a spiritual seminar / clash in Edison. You must have seen the invitation. So if you want to come for that program, it's not in our temple. You can connect with Madhupati Prabhu and Devkinandan Prabhu. And next Sunday, we will start Jagannath Shravan Festival for 4 weeks. Madhavananda Prabhu from ISKCON Gopalji Publications and Bhaktivedanta Research Center is going to speak the first discourse on Jagannath Shravan Festival, followed by so many important devotees. On 22nd, we have Amarendra Prabhu, who has confirmed. That's on Sunday next 8th of June. Then on 10th, we will have Lord Jagannath Snan Yatra, actual day, lot of festivities. And after that, we'll keep you informed. And on the 15th, we'll have extended Snan Yatra celebration as well with additional programming. So anything I missed, Mr. Prabhu or Jayaprakash Prabhu, Amritaran Prabhu? Okay.
Prabhu Rath Yatra, New York.
Yeah, Rath Yatra New York is on 14th. The bus reservation has been posted in the group. Sankarshan Sharan Prabhu is coordinating. So please book your seats for New York City Rath Yatra, which happens every Saturday of June. It's been happening for the last 20 years. It's all booked for the next 20 years unless there are issues. So at 14th, we can't miss that wonderful yatra of Lord Jagannath, glancing at the biggest street and biggest city of the world, Fifth Avenue and New York City. So please join that.
Do you have any flyers for that, Prabhuji? Can you circulate on the group?
Yeah, I'll try to get from Radha Govinda temple website and share with the group, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
So if there are no other announcements, let's offer obeisances at the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas by saying Vancha Kalpata.
Vaishnavibhyo namo
Vaishnava ki
Jai.
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank
Bol.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Hari
Very
Bol.
nice.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. Hari.